Making sense of clickbait: why we click on sensationalistic headlines on social media. Making sense of clickbait: why we click on sensationalistic headlines on social media. Scrolling through our social media feeds, it's hard to avoid clickbait, those sensational headlines designed to entice us into clicking on an article or video. We've all fallen victim to the allure of clickbait at some point, even if we know it's often not worth the hype. So why do we click on these sensationalistic headlines? What draws us in, and why do we keep coming back for more? First, it's important to define what we mean by clickbait. Clickbait is a term used to describe headlines or thumbnails that are designed to attract attention and encourage clicks, often through the use of sensational or exaggerated language. Clickbait can take many forms, from celebrity gossip to political outrage to health claims about miracle cures. What all of these headlines have in common is that they promise something that's hard to resist, whether it's scandalous insider information or the key to a happier, healthier life. One reason we click on clickbait is that it plays on our natural curiosity and desire for information. As social creatures, we crave novelty and new information, and clickbait promises to provide you that. However, while clickbait promises to provide information, it often fails to deliver on its promises. Clickbait articles frequently feature vague or misleading headlines that open a story that doesn't fulfill the hype, and sometimes they're entirely false. They hook the reader with a sensational headline, then pad out the article with irrelevant information or even fabricate evidence, perhaps with clickbait ads or paid subscriptions. Another factor that makes clickbait so irresistible is its emotional appeal. Clickbait headlines often tap into our deepest fears, desires, and emotions, whether it's fear of missing out, anger at political opponents, or the desire for a better body and mind. By tapping into our emotions, clickbait resonates with us on a deeper level, making it harder to resist. But while clickbait may be emotionally engaging, it's important to recognize that not all emotions are created equal. Some emotions, such as anger, fear, or disgust, can actually be harmful and unhealthy. Clickbait headlines that stoke these negative emotions can contribute to a climate of outrage and divisiveness, rather than promoting healthy discussions and constructive solutions to problems. So what can we do to resist the lure of clickbait? One strategy is to be more mindful of our own emotional responses. When we feel a strong emotional reaction to a headline, it's important to take a step back and ask ourselves why. Are we genuinely interested in the topic, or are we reacting emotionally to the way the headline is framed? Another strategy is to seek out more reliable sources of information that are less reliant on clickbait. Established news outlets, while not always perfect, tend to take a more measured and careful approach to reporting, rather than relying on sensational or misleading headlines. By seeking out these sources, we can better separate fact from fiction and make more informed decisions about the war around us. Finally, it's important to recognize that clickbait is a symptom of a larger problem with our current media landscape. As the internet has made it easier to produce and distribute content, the competition for attention and ad revenue has become fiercer than ever. In this environment, clicks and views are often prioritized over accuracy and quality, leading to a race to the bottom in terms of realistic standards. Ultimately, it's up to us as consumers to demand higher standards from our media sources, and to support sources that prioritize accuracy and truth over sensationalism and clicks. By being more discerning in the content we consume and the sources we support, we can help create a more responsible and trustworthy media ecosystem. Another reason why we are drawn towards clickbait is that it appeals to our confirmation bias. This is the tendency to seek out information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs and values, while ignoring or rejecting information that contradicts them. Clickbait headlines that align with our beliefs or reaffirm our opinions can feel like validation, and we're more likely to share them with our social media networks. However, this confirmation bias can also lead to the spread of misinformation